From Amateur Radio Newsline, this is a special presentation on the life of Bill Pasternak, WA6ITF.
It is with a heavy heart that we report the passing of Bill Pasternak, WA6ITF. Bill was 73. He left us on Thursday evening, June 11th. Up to the end, Bill didn't think about his own condition, but of all of us who came to rely on him for the Amateur Radio Newsline. Newsline was Bill's baby, an on-air bulletin service he co-founded in 1976 as the Westlink Report, and for which he served as managing editor until his death. Bill was a tireless promoter of amateur radio and originated the Young Ham of the Year Award through Newsline to recognize the accomplishments of young amateurs. He was always behind efforts to promote ham radio among youth and was especially supportive of scouting and its annual Jamboree on the Air and the operations of K2BSA, the Boy Scouts official station active at national jamborees. For those of you who have listened to Amateur Radio Newsline or watched segments here on Ham Nation prepared by Newsline, you really didn't hear much from the man behind the scenes. Occasionally, he would report on breaking news stories from the Amateur Radio Newsline studios in California, but he always preferred to get his staff of reporters on the air, doing the job for you. Bill was an intrepid behind-the-scenes newsman pursuing leads weekly for Newsline and recruiting an all-volunteer staff made up of active and retired broadcasters and others to help produce the program. Bill was a published author and wrote for a variety of publications including CQ, QST, 73, and World Radio, to name a few. Bill was among those behind the American Radio Relay League's entry into promoting the hobby through a popular series of films and videos that circulated among radio clubs throughout the nation and around the world over the years. He worked with his close friends, Dave Bell, W6AQ, his longtime friend and TV producer, and Roy Neal, K6DUE, former NBC News science editor. Bill's last project for the ARRL was with Dave Bell and a video targeting the DIY and makers, whom he believed could offer much to amateur radio's ranks. Bill always wanted his videos to be an out-of-this-world experience for the viewer, as in space, of course, where he believed ham radio should play a role. One of his crowning achievements came when he included in an ARRL video the first contacts with the first ham radio astronaut in space, Owen Garriott, W5LFL, in 1983. Bill's last video, released a few years ago, also featured an appearance by an astronaut aboard the International Space Station, astronaut Doug Wheelock, KF5BOC. It also included a video of a follow-up eyeball at Dayton between the astronaut and one of the people with whom he had a QSO while in space. Bill Pasternak was a native of Brooklyn, New York, and was first licensed there in 1959 as WA2HVK. You could take the boy out of New York, but if you listen closely, you couldn't take the accent out of the boy. Bill loved talking about his exploits on 6 meters in New York in his early days. And he also fondly recalled getting his private pilot's license back then and flying and operating Aeromobile in New Jersey. When the no-code technician license arrived, Bill convinced the love of his life, Sharon, to take the test. She became KD6EPW. Bill not only embraced technology as a hobby, but as a vocation as well. He found his way into television as an engineer and worked for several years at KTTV, which became the Fox station in Los Angeles. Bill retired in 2012 and continued to serve as broadcast consultant and devoted more of his time to the Amateur Radio Newsline. Besides amateur radio, Bill loved Broadway theater, and he was an avid theatergoer. He made regular trips to New York to see musicals and drama productions and took in shows when they hit the West Coast as well. Many don't know, but he made many friends among actors and actresses over the years, true friends like those he had in amateur radio. Bill's the only ham to be recognized twice by the Dayton Hamvention Group. He received the Special Achievement Award in 1981 and the Radio Amateur of the Year Award in 1989. Bill was also recognized by the ARRL with a National Certificate of Merit for his contributions to promoting amateur radio and also served on the Public Relations Committee at headquarters. We are sad he has left us, but we are happy Bill is at peace and has gone to the best DX location one could ever imagine. A memorial service is being planned, and in lieu of flowers, family is asking for contributions to the Amateur Radio Newsline to continue the Young Ham of the Year award in Bill's name. On a personal level, as chairman of the Young Ham of the Year Award Judging Committee, I can promise you the award will be made this year. It's a promise I made to Bill just a few days ago in a brief and final telephone conversation with a friend, a true friend whom I will miss very much. I met Bill in 2002. Wow, that's almost 17 years ago, when my son Josh, then KB3 GWI, was selected as the Young Ham of the Year. It was at the Huntsville Ham Fest, and my wife Sue, NZ3G, and daughter Amy, KB3 IJW, flew down to attend the event. Bill was gracious and kind, and my family and I forged an instant bond with him. Because of my professional work as a broadcaster in Philadelphia, Bill asked me to join the fine stable of contributors to Amateur Radio Newsline. I graciously accepted. When the chairman of the Young Ham of the Year Award Committee wanted to give it up, Bill came right to me. He said because of my scouting background and interest in exposing young people to ham radio, I'd be a perfect fit. How could I say no? But now, he has left us. We all grieve in different ways, but as a man of faith, I'd like to say to all of you, Bill was a man of great faith. He is now at peace. He is enjoying his heavenly reward. He gave his very best to all of us. The best way we can continue his legacy is to carry the spirit, that spark of curiosity, and the light of knowledge through this wonderful world of amateur radio. I'm Mark Abramovich, NT3V.
Thank you, Mark. I met Bill in 1995, 20 years ago now, through Kevin Boudreau, N5XMH, the 1993 Young Ham of the Year. He and I traveled to the Huntsville Ham Fest together. I'd only been a ham 8 months, and with my broadcasting career, I was immediately thrust into Amateur Radio Newsline. Bill had a way of making you an offer you couldn't refuse. Well, in those 2 decades, he became more than a friend and a colleague. He became an uncle. He became an older brother, a teacher, and a mentor. As noted voiceover talent Bo Weaver, W6KHJ, is fond of saying, Bill has taken his light into another room, or to put it in ham radio terms, he's moved on up the band to a spot where we don't yet have privileges. But we will one day, and Bill will be the first to answer our call. The saying, who's going to fill their shoes, comes to mind, but I don't think it really applies here, because only Bill Pasternak could wear those shoes. But we in the Amateur Radio Newsline, and you who listen, watch, and support what we do, can stand together in his footprints and take the next steps together. We'll lock arms and we'll move forward and we'll do it together. Because Bill would want that. And because it's the right thing to do. More in future reports. For everyone associated with the Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Don Wilbanks, AE5DW. Thank you.